This morning, one of the world's richest men, tech billionaire Mark Zuckerberg, at the center of a neighborhood drama. The Facebook founder allegedly piling up properties in Palo Alto, California, miles from Meta headquarters. A New York Times report finds Zuckerberg has bought at least 11 homes in the affluent Crescent Park area, spending more than $110 million to create a compound for his family. That includes multiple guest homes, a pool, pickleball court, and even a private school for 14 children that may violate the city code. The Times said it reviewed city and state documents and spoke to 9 neighbors, including 7 who asked to remain anonymous. Underneath it all sits 7,000 square feet of space that building permits call basements, but some neighbors refer to as a bunker. Zuckerberg has also built underground on other land he's been buying up in Hawaii, describing it like this.
I think that's just like a little shelter and it's like a basement.
Little shelter.
I do have an underground tunnel.
Do you really?
Yeah. People are saying I built this like bunker underground. It's like more of underground storage
Bring
type
it up.
situation.
Peter Balte was a member of the Palo Alto Architect.
Underground storage. Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know if this is really a story. I mean, does it suck? Sure. Just because simple fact, if you or I tried to do a lot of this stuff, it wouldn't be able to, happen. But on the flip side, you or I we don't have $1 billion. And if you haven't noticed, there's a common theme with a lot of these billionaires that are building these underground bunkers. I don't know what they know that we don't. I even heard something a while ago that I have not done any research into, but they're doing a lot of things that the average people aren't even thinking about. However, I wouldn't say that they're average just because they have access to so much. But I heard a story that they're trying to grow corn on Mars or something like that. I don't know. Neither here nor there. Point is, they're going to live a life and do things that the majority of us can't, and they'll get away with most. Having said that, it sucks. I feel bad for the neighbors that are involved and that live around that area. I'm very familiar with that area. For those of you who do not know, I grew up in the Bay Area and spent a lot of time and even lived in San Jose and the surrounding parts. And it's a very, very, very expensive part. I can't state that enough. I believe it's the most expensive part in the country, if I'm not mistaken, the Silicon Valley, that is. But I feel bad for the neighbors. But I would love to ask Mark, like, really, what's the deal here? what is going on? It's so funny because I hear about Apple, Facebook, all these places, and I remember being in that area. My friends' parents working for these companies when they were just getting off the ground, and man, I kicked myself for not getting involved with this sooner. But at any rate, the rich get to do whatever they want. I mean, here in Atlanta, you have companies buying whole developments, and I do think there needs to be some laws in place to protect the average American person, because again, you or I, you cannot compete with their dollars. They have long money, they have plenty of money, and it's hard to compete with that. And good luck if you try. They have all the leverage. They can tie things up in the legal system to where they just big bank take little bank, and there's nothing you can do about it. It is fascinating to see like what they're doing, what they're trying to do. I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of these conversations, but I don't know. Let's see what.
Architectural Review Board in 2016 when Zuckerberg asked for permission to demolish 4 homes.
They were rather odd designs. One had a large basement for some meeting rooms or some kind. It just wasn't residential in nature. We ultimately rejected the project.
But Zuckerberg revised his plans to avoid needing approval, according to The Times, a pattern residents say of finding loopholes. Since Zuckerberg moved to Crescent Park more than a decade ago, they also say the disruptions have been endless. Construction blocking roads and driveways, security surveillance even on public sidewalks, and noise from the couple's massive parties. A spokesperson for Zuckerberg and Chan telling The Times they value being members of the community and have taken a number of steps above and beyond any local requirements to avoid disruption in the neighborhood. But many residents are still frustrated, saying the compound has changed the tight-knit community.
Having a community where you see your neighbors, where you say hello to each other, that's something that's core to Palo Alto, and that's what's being pushed away at in Palo Alto today with this.
Yeah, I would say they're very true, and that area is very nice. It's to be able to demolish 4 homes. Most people would look at them like you're insane. I mean, these homes were like $1 million and up, and to be honest, $1 million is not buying you a great house in Silicon Valley. It's just not. You're maybe getting a standard 3x2, nothing crazy home for $1 million. So it's a place that if you didn't get in early enough, if you didn't get early enough, you didn't get all that appreciation. And if you got in now, well, again, you're gonna pay at the top, and that's the deal. That's the deal. You can find a house for 1.2 and like, oh man, I got a good deal on this house. It's insane. It's like no place I've ever seen. I've never been up to New York, so I wouldn't know that market very well, but I would assume it'd be something like that. But this, and the taxes are just, when you pay 1.2 for a home, you can imagine what the property taxes are. It's going to be pretty high, and everything out west is just, again, very, very, very expensive. But again, this is, the rich are doing what the rich do, and this isn't just rich. This is like 1%er stuff, right? I mean, they're doing what they want, essentially. Let's continue the story and see what else.
Situation.
So, Liz, what are the neighbors hoping for at this point?
Yeah, Savannah, so one city council member who lives close told the New York Times there needs to be a change to the actual code, arguing it shouldn't allow one person to take over an entire neighborhood. He's been working on actually rewriting the local laws and zoning rules. Others are hoping the city cracks down on this private school, reportedly saying so far they've done little to address it, despite neighbors raising concerns for years. We should note, while some don't clearly love what Zuckerberg is doing, other neighbors have reportedly been eager to cash in on his plans, with the couple's spokesperson telling The Times that many have actually reached out to him offering to sell their homes. NBC News has not heard back ourselves from Meta and Zuckerberg, guys.
All right, Liz, thank you.
Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this. I frankly don't know if it's much of a story. It's nothing different than what's going on with the rest of the country right now, and a lot of companies that are able to just to buy whole subdivisions. So again, let me know what your comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We'll talk to you guys later.